Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my next video about my thoughts about jobs and work and economy. In the past I began to develop some ideas about how a human society can live in maybe a better way than today. As you know, there are a lot of problems in the Western world as well, and obviously in the rest of the world. But as I'm part of the Western world, it's my main focus right now. But this could be also a possible idea for the future, for the whole world, of course. Okay, but as you know, in the current situation in the Western world, the capitalism dominates a very large portion of the life of the people. It's very important to have enough money, otherwise you will suffer some minor or major problems depending on your income. Okay, so there is this quite common idea about getting money directly from the government without conditions, which is a very good thing in a world where where machines and technology are replacing humans more and more over the course of the time, which gives one big opportunity, but with our current way of living raises some very big problem. The problem of people that are not getting employed, and so they don't getting their wages. And if they are not getting their wages, so they don't have any form of, okay, at least in some parts of the world, they don't have an income. Usually there's some kind of backup for them to get at least some minor form of income, so they can still pay the rent and buy some food. For example, there's the Hartz IV in Germany. But if you are giving people money per month without any condition, this can solve a lot of problems, actually. So the people don't have to fear for their existence anymore if they are not getting enough money. So they always know, no matter what happens, I will still get this basic income, which could be, I don't know, just to say a number, it could be like 800 euros or 1000 euros per month. So people don't have to worry for their life anymore in that extreme way. Of course, they will still suffer some minor problems, and this also can help to reduce problems like extreme poverty or homelessness, which is a very good thing. But this raises another question about how this can be paid for, which is very important, of course, in our capitalistic world right now. And one way would be to tax companies, maybe based upon their level of automation, of their usage of machines. But but you can just basically say you can tax the companies, and these taxes can more or less replace the wages of the people who are getting less and less employed over time in cause of the usage of machines. Okay. And if you're going to the more distant future, I think about 200, 300 years, you can maybe abandon the usage of money at all, because everyone gets at least some basic amount, and maybe it is possible to replace this basic amount of money by automated generated food or clothing and shelter, as you know them as basic needs of living. You can replace these needs basically. And if you're and what people are usually thinking about this, that nobody wants to work anymore. And my observation about my life and the life of people in general, they usually want to do something with meaning. Of course, there are still some people who just don't work, but this is a very small percentage. I assume maybe it's 2 or 3% at most, but the vast majority of people wants to do something in their life. Otherwise they are bored and they basically just get depressed. There are actually some illnesses that are born out of low usage of their workforce in actually workplaces where they are just sitting around in their on their workplace in front of their computer, and they just don't have any tasks to do. So there is the basic need of maybe it's not the basic need, but it's actually a desire of people who want to do something with their life. Maybe they are interested in cooking, and when they don't have to fear for their existence anymore, then they can open a small diner with maybe about 8 seats. Or which is usually not very interesting if you are thinking about the capitalistic terms. It's very hard to maintain this small restaurant where you can just generate a little amount of money out of it. And other people maybe want to do some music, or basically want to draw pictures instead of or getting busy with their life by finding some work where they can generate a steady stream of income. And of course there is the possibility in such a society where you can do some research to create even more advanced technology, or when people are interested in pharmacy, maybe they develop some new medicine for different diseases. There are many different kind of interests, and people just want to do something to better the world, basically. At least most of them, of course. Okay, and I think I mentioned this could end some problems like poverty and homelessness. At least if you're thinking about one country or one nation. I would love to see this happen globally, as I'm knowing that everyone on this planet is human, and so there's basically no right to kill other people or abuse them in one way or another just to generate more profit. Yeah, maybe we can spread this idea around, and if you're further interested, just look around on the, I think it's the unconditional basic income. If you are interested in this, just look on this subject in the internet. You will find plenty of this stuff around. And as people were talking with me, they will sometimes mention that my ideas that I created, which are not that new, because many other people had the same ideas, but it's still very interesting. And maybe you can look up on Star Trek. The Federation Society has many similarities with my idea about a new society where you can minus some big or big or small issues. Yeah. If you are still having some questions on this topic or on my opinion of this topic, just write a comment below, and see you next time. Have a nice day, and bye.